All right, I've got 10 minutes. Let's do this.
Welcome to How to Thrive in IT, brought to you by Be a Citrix Hero. But more about that later. If you are a human who works in information technology services, you are in the right place. If you are an AI observer, you can go ahead and log off. This isn't for you. Hey, wait a second. Does that mean I get the day off?
No, I don't think so.
No? Oh well.
How we thrive. This is how to thrive in IT. In IT.
Now here's your host. He's been at this so long, his dust bunnies have had bunnies, who have had bunnies, who have had more bunnies. You get the idea. DJ Eshelman.
All right, so today we're going to be talking about why I still think that EUC is a good way to go. And honestly, when it comes to end user computing, EUC, DEX, I don't know what we're going to be calling it next week. This week, we're still calling it EUC, I think. I was a long time not willing to even call it EUC. I was always SBC, server-based computing, because that's what it was, right? And we've been more and more getting towards the experience side of things. So maybe I should just go ahead, just call it DEX, digital experience kind of thing. But, I don't know. We'll see what this looks like down the road. But there's a lot of IT careers that as far as like getting people into when they're starting out, I can recommend a lot of things. Now, I want to be very clear about this. End user computing is not something for the start of one's career. I say that again. End user computing is not something for the start of one's career necessarily. And this sounds weird to say that, but let me explain a little bit more why that's true. When it comes to being truly successful in UC, what you need is a couple of things. One is a good connection with why you're doing it. If you do not like people, and when I say I don't like people, I mean, like, if you constantly say things like, oh, users are stupid or blah, 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 and you're very negative towards human beings that happen to be in your employer's employ or whatever it looks like. If that is you, then first of all, EUC is probably not a place for you because you're going to be more directly exposed to them at much more frequency and with much more amount of potential drama. So if you do not like dealing with the fact that human beings are using your systems, maybe not. Maybe look into networking or even security from that standpoint. In fact, security is probably a good fit for people like that because, frankly, security is the people that piss everybody else off anyway. So, hey, why not? Anyway, if you are somebody who's like a good kind of people person in the way that you like the idea of making somebody's day a little bit better or serving them in that way, then you are very likely to be much more successful in EUC. So that's one thing. The other thing is to be successful in EUC, you have a wide variety of things you need to know. This is a thing that I see a lot of folks get tripped up about and not realize you need a good overall level of experience or knowledge, integrated knowledge or acumen, if you will, if you want to fancy words about it. Basically, what this means is that you need to be someone who has a wider array of experiences. Now, I'm not saying be an expert in all the things. I'm saying be more like a Swiss Army knife or Leatherman. Don't be the best tool for the job necessarily, but know enough to be useful and to be able to speak intelligently about the things. Let me give you some examples. When I first started working with Citrix Consulting Services back in 2011, the interview process, they didn't really ask me much about what I knew about Citrix at all. In fact, I was interviewed by a guy named Douglas, and he was kind of legendary for weeding out new recruits. And so I know the people that were putting me up in front of the team there were nervous because they heard that he was going to be doing the interview, whatever. But I totally impressed him, not because of what I knew about Citrix, but he started asking me a bunch of questions about Active Directory. And I mean, I took it for granted at the time. I didn't realize that a lot of people that are in the field that are working at Citrix Technologies and stuff like that at the time didn't really know much about Active Directory. Well, here's the thing, and this was even more true back then than it is now, but if you don't know a lot about how Active Directory works, I mean, really works, the odds of you being able to survive a true enterprise deployment of Citrix is very small. There are just nuances that a lot of people just don't know about, whether it be how group policy works, whether it be just in general about how to, have your networking set up in multiple regions. Actually, I encountered this. It was recently as 2 weeks ago, I encountered this client that everything was kind of running slowly. And I'm like, let's check your Active Directory sites and services. Sure enough, somebody had missed putting in a subnet as related to a Active Directory controller in that same subnet. Free tip for you there. You can send me the $500 later. But bottom line for that is that you need to know a lot about that, storage, networking. There's a lot of different little things that play into the overall EUC ecosystem. It's not just about the delivery technology. That is really something you need to know as far as that goes. Getting a good hypervisors, that's another good one. Nowadays, knowing a lot about clouds is really important. Like Azure, for example, or to a lesser degree, some of the other ones like AWS or GCP or some of the other, emerging things, but also hypervisors. Like the gold standard continues to be VMware. Citrix has their own, for example, if you're in the Citrix ecosystem, a lot of others. And knowing kind of the balance points, like, for example, if you want to specialize in an EUC technology, which I do recommend, I know a lot of people don't think you should, but honestly, you need to be known for something. You need to be good at something. Otherwise, you're just always going to be a generalist and your career is going to be flatline. So you always want to be known for something. Take a stand, take a risk, be good at something.
If you really want to be good at EUC and DEX technologies, we have the perfect event just for you.
Live IT brings the heat, something new every week. Get ready to click and see something awesome for you and me. Resource of the week. Oh yeah, resource of the week. What will it be this week? Get ready to take a peek.
This week's resource of the week is Zen App Blog's awesome Virtual Expo. This free online summit will feature over 10 speakers, including DJ. This is an all-day event, so you'll have plenty of time to block off your calendar. Tell your boss that it is a training day because you will walk away with a boatload of value. Virtual Expo is happening March 28, 2025 with speakers from all over the world. Yeah, it will be an early start, but so very, very worth it. Head to thrive-it.com/virtual expo to see the event and the big text that says click here to register. And be sure to show up live because DJ will be giving away a copy of his book. In fact, you'll have an opportunity to get started on your reading at the end of this episode. But for the full book, show up to Virtual Expo and watch DJ's talk at 10 o'clock Eastern Time. Head to thrive-it.com/virtual expo now to get registered. Seriously, right now, you can pause this podcast. We'll be here for you. thrive-it.com/virtual expo. Zen App Blog's Virtual Expo, your resource of the week.
The other part of this, I guess, is the other things that are attached to it. So some of the technologies out there nowadays are attached to a specific hypervisor or cloud. So, for example, if you want to be really good at Nerdio, and that's your jam, well, guess what? Nerdio is very specific to Azure virtual desktops. Right? That's their basic. They don't have their own delivery mechanism necessarily. That's going to be Microsoft stuff. So, getting good at how the Microsoft stack works is going to be good for you if you want to get good into the Nerdio stack. And, you know, like there's a lot of others that are like that too, and some have nuances that they run locally, some don't. And so once you kind of figure out what you'd like to be focused in on, learn all the things that are important to that and that exist in that ecosystem and become really good at those. Okay.
Awesome. Thanks, DJ. And that brings us neatly to our episode sponsor, Be a Citrix Hero. If you are learning Citrix, have been voluntold to take over, or just want to fine-tune the Citrix environment the way that professional consultants do, you're in luck. DJ took over a decade working with Citrix consulting services and distilled down the most important things to make sure your Citrix environment has in place. He then presented them in the book, Be a Citrix Hero. Stories have poured in about how the tips in this book have saved companies thousands of dollars. Others tell us that their career was dramatically changed because of the program. One student was even able to leave his administration job and start working as a sales engineer, making far more money and working far less hours. He is thrilled. The Be a Citrix Hero program is a series of video content that the book was based upon, including the original Dirty Dozen presentation that was so popular among CUGC and other community events. Now, a little insider tip here. If you enroll now, you'll not only get access to the program in its current state, but you'll get access when DJ updates the course and book for 2025. Yours at no additional cost if you enroll today. If you were to have learned this directly from DJ, your cost would have been well over $2,000. And when the new content is released, the cost will be more than $200. But if you sign up today, your cost? $67. That's right, $67 US, and you'll get permanent access to the current course, plus all the new content in 2025. Head to ctx.academy. Yes, that's absolutely correct. ctx.academy and click on I'm Ready to Learn. Enter in your registration information, then you'll see a page for full access for just $67. It is that easy. ctx.academy, this week's episode sponsor.
So when it comes to EUC, that's my pointers for getting into that. I do still think, like I said, is that it's a good thing to be into. I think there's a lot of potential still in the EUC space. I think it's definitely anything but dead, very much a living, breathing organism at this point, which means it's going through a lot of changes as I'm recording this, but at the same time, I think there's a lot of potential. So if you are maybe 1 or 2 years into your career and kind of looking for what your next steps, your next direction is going to be, and you like people, a good range of experiences, then there's a lot of joy to be had in the EUC world. So hope that's helpful to you, and we'll see you on the next episode.
That wraps us up for another week on the How to Thrive in IT podcast. Make sure to head over to ctx.academy for that special deal from today's sponsor. Now it's time for your Just Do This takeaways. Today we learned that to be successful in EUC, you need a grasp of a lot of the surrounding technologies such as Active Directory and the hypervisor, cloud, and network components, just to name a few. We also learned that it takes being a little bit more of a people person to truly thrive in EUC, but there are a ton of options nonetheless. What we didn't mention is that becoming an engineer in EUC technologies is in some markets demanding a salary of over $125,000 or more. That is an exciting reason to get into this technology if you're ready for it. As a reminder, a great way to learn about your options and some different perspectives is to register for the Virtual Expo by going to thrive-it.com/virtual expo. But hey, we promised you a way to get started for free with DJ's book, Just Do This, a simpler way to succeed in IT. Head to thrive-it.com/JDTPC1 for a very special link. You'll not only get access to the PDF version of the entire first section of the book, Understand. You'll get a special link to book a call with DJ to discuss your career plans one-on-one. That link again, thrive-it.com/JDTPC1. Thanks again for being here. But before you go, we need your help. You see, there are thousands of podcasts out there. Sharing this link, pod.co/thrive-it, will help us spread the word about it. Would you consider doing that today? Or another way you can help is to leave a review on your favorite podcast platform. Reviews help people decide to listen, sure, but they also help the platform know to recommend us to other folks. You didn't find this on your own. Maybe it's time to help someone else find their way to thrive in IT. Food for thought. We will see you next time. Until then, don't just survive, thrive.
Are you ready for an IT career boost? Well, have we got something for you? Let's go! Started from the bottom with bits in my mind. End user computing, now here we find Active Directory guiding the stream. The world of EUC is an IT career a dream. Building VMs like sandcastles on the net. Hypervisors keeping our feet from getting wet. Databases stacked like bricks so high. Thriving engineers reaching for the sky. Up in the clouds where data flies free. Text bridging worlds, it's a sight to see. Virtual visions dance on hypervisors beam. Building the future with EUC. Hypervisor spinning like wheels on fire. Layers of machines lifting us higher. From physical to virtual, it's magic in code. On this tech highway, see how we rode. Up in the clouds where data flies free. Text bridging worlds, it's a sight to see. Virtual visions dance on hypervisors beam. Building the future with EUC. Hopping through clouds like a savvy tech pro. Virtual desktops, a seamless flow. Managing users with security tight. End-to-end solutions lighting up the night. Thrive-it.com, that is where you really belong. Connection broker acting as the gate. Access controlled at a sleek, secure rate. Shaping infrastructure with hands so deft. In this tech universe, we are never bereft. Don't just survive. Clouds where data flies free. Text bridging worlds, it's a sight to see. Virtual visions dance on hypervisors beam. Building the future with EUC. Don't just survive IT. It's time to thrive IT. Tune in and subscribe. Pod-co/thrive-IT. Pod-co. That's right, y'all, head to pod-co/thrive-IT and subscribe on your favorite player. Be sure to share and leave a review so we can keep these episodes coming to you.
If you like that one, maybe you'll like this one too. Why not? Get that treadmill going today.
Are you ready for an IT career boost? Oh, have we got something for you? Let's go! Started from the bottom with bits in my mind. End user computing, now here we find Active Directory guiding the stream. The world of EUC is an IT career dream. Building VMs like sandcastles on the net. Hypervisors keeping our feet from getting wet. Databases stacked like bricks so high. Thriving engineers reaching for the sky. Up in the clouds where data flies free. Text bridging worlds, it's a sight to see. Virtual visions dance on hypervisors beam. Building the future with EUC. Hypervisors spinning like wheels on fire. Layers of machines lifting us higher. From physical to virtual, it's magic in code. On this tech highway, see how we rode. EUC. Hopping through clouds like a savvy tech pro. Virtual desktops, a seamless flow. Managing users with security tight. End-to-end solutions lighting up the night. Drive-it.com. That is where you really belong. Connection broker acting as the gate. Access controlled at a sleek, secure rate. Shaping infrastructure with hands so deft. In this tech universe, we are never bereft. Up in the clouds where data flies free. Text bridging worlds, it's a sight to see. Virtual visions dance on hypervisors beam. Building the future with EUC. Don't just survive IT, it's time to thrive IT. Tune in and subscribe. Pod-co/thrive-IT. Pod-co/EUC. That's right, y'all. Head to pod